All right, so we just finished 8 courses. Well, really 9, I guess, right? Because of the halo halo, which you can learn about all the courses on the Life and Food Instagram. But I think we were just sitting here talking about Mr. Urban's upbringing. Wait, did you work at any of these places?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Why do you say it like that? They didn't trust you?
No, we were actually trying to rob money from the
From your own parents?
from my grandma back in
Or grandparents?
Yeah, we did.
So wait, so your grandparents made a living by basically hopping on the trends and offering it to the Philippine world.
Movie theaters. I mean, my aunts owned like Mountain Resort. Then my mom's side, they own like big bakeries and rice mills, and yeah, it was.
Is this common like in the Philippines where like families just started these companies and businesses, or was it more like your family, or what was?
I don't know. I think the grandparents' generation is probably what.
Oh yeah,
they worked hard right after the war, probably.
Right. So they wanted to
start from scratch. It's like
yeah, exactly right. They wanted to build a better world for themselves, so they just did it themselves.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you say you left the Philippines when you were 22?
No.
20.
I just turned 20, I think. No. I was turning 21 that year, 96.
Okay.
I felt like it wasn't too long ago.
I mean, it really wasn't. You said you're only 44. Why do you think it feels that way? I feel like you've pretty tapped into your heritage and culture. I mean, that's probably why it doesn't feel like you haven't left that long ago, you know?
Not really. I think I'm more... No.
I don't know. Experiencing this food, I don't know. I think otherwise. Are you more American, Mr. Irvin?
Yes.
I mean, you very much are. I'm wondering why. I feel like you're just so connected, but you've been here more than half your life.
Well, you gotta enjoy it during the weekend.
Yeah.
Can be eating steak every day too.
Nah, that's fun, but this is all this right here, man. I mean, this is just the aftermath. But you guys, I think the amount of food you made, Tracy, like you would think you were working for 10, 12 hours, but I mean, well, it was the Instapot over there, and then the air fryer, which made amazing pork belly. Like that was good, dude.
For real, I honestly think
It almost had. Yeah, it almost had like a fried bread, kind of like...
What?
Like the pork belly, like it almost had like a fried bread crunchiness and then like just tender meat in the middle.
Yeah, that's my brother's recipe.
Dude, that was... And then seeing it in that... because you steamed it over there. Seeing it when it almost like... It was like 2/3 less the size. It really like shrunk. But
it did.
But it was...
You got it here,
it's
dude.
huge.
It almost like it dehydrated it a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what it does.
Yeah.
It's still here, look.
Look at that. I think you can... Yeah. You hear that? But it sounds... It doesn't sound appetizing. Excuse me. But it was very appetizing.
You know what's the closest one to that I always... Well, I like eating is... Who makes mofongos?
Oh, it's Puerto Rico? Puerto Ricans? I think so.
Yeah, that's kind of like what they put on the bottom when they start.
Yeah. Well, you know what that reminded me too? Did you ever have at Michi Ramen, the burnt, the pork belly? But then I think they pan fried it and it had exact same texture. But it was greasy and heavy. This wasn't.
Oh yeah.
You air fried it, yeah. I think you made me a believer air fryer because I was like,
Oh,
But for as long as you fried that or air fried it, if you did that stovetop, it'd be a mess. Major mess.
So mad.
It should be like running.
Yeah, I'll be running.
You would almost need like a industrial, like at a restaurant. You'd have to deep fry it, not because.
Oh yeah, because your house would even smell like it for like days.
Yeah, and then it eventually gets stale, and it's just not. It's not appetizing anymore.
Yeah. No.
Oh, where'd you go? Is there anything I can do to help? No. I already knew the answer. I need to ask anyway. Oh, this is banana ketchup, by the way, which I always thought, or no, excuse me, banana sauce, which I always thought it had, well, you know, I always thought it had tomatoes, but you were saying that it's the peel of the banana.
Yeah, it has some banana peel, and it's not, I mean, I've seen them make it, and it's not. It's not a regular banana. It's more of like a native banana that they use.
Right, and it's probably more
It's like,
savory.
if you look at the picture, that's different. It's not.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
not your typical one you put in your smoothie, you know.
Yeah. Tracy, what about you? What was life growing up like?
She's American.
She's American.
Like the same.
Well, but you know, your mom's pretty
Yeah.
hardcore.
Oh, yeah. A lot
Wait.
of unknown.
What about a what?
A lot of unknown. Like, why the hell are we doing this? That's weird. You know, just not
She-
eating everything like everybody else was eating growing up.
Right.
Like,
Well, you talked.
it's embarrassing.
You say that one time you brought kimchi, and what was
Yeah.
it to school?
And they were like, ew, what's that smell? It's like, oh my gosh, I'll never do this again, ever. And I never did. But, you know, it's just like, oh man, like, I would have really enjoyed that lunch. Had everybody
Oh,
just
good catch.
left me alone.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah, they just don't understand,
they
man.
don't understand, and I wasn't going to teach them at that time.
Yeah. It would have been a lost cause.
Yeah.
What is kimchi for those that don't know?
The fermented vegetable, whatever you'd like to use, right? A lot of
Ooh.
people use nappy cabbage, but we
Yeah.
did everything.
Yeah, like this right here. This was ridiculous. It was a pickle kimchi. It was ridiculous.
Oh, that's like. And now everyone's like catching up. Like what, 2 years ago? Like, oh my god, that's like probiotics.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
You're like, well,
really? My grandma was like,
I think
don't eat, there's a lot of MSG in it. Like, people are like, oh, this is it.
yeah, forget the probiotics.
Yeah.
Well, but I
They
mean,
still do.
oh right,
A lot of
right.
people buy it because they think, well, I guess it does help
True. It's a
with your
natural
digestion,
probiotic.
maybe.
Right.
But
That's
I mean, it is pretty. Yeah. Well, like this right here, it had like the skin was almost leathery but edible, and then the inside was just real like soft and almost like oddly velvety. That's weird. I don't know. It was good though.
Yeah.
Stupid good. And what kimchi's been eaten for like what centuries?
Oh yeah.
Well, they had to preserve everything back in the day before the refrigerators.
Yeah. They remember that like in Korea they actually like bury it.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen that. Or I've seen
They've been doing this forever.
yeah. And then now it's trendy probiotics, but you're like, wait,
Yeah. No.
well, because
And if it gets more people to eat it,
Hey, yeah, right.
all for it.
They're getting cultured, no pun intended.
Yeah,
Like
they
this-
are.
if you go back maybe
My-
3 years ago,
my dad joke.
3 years ago, and everyone's like, ew, kimchi, that's stinky, right?
Nah, bro.
Now it's like,
But it's so opposite of what you smell. It's like it's like
well,
fish sauce.
That's because someone came out with one that says all organic.
Right.
They-
It's more.
they
Yeah,
put it in
you
a
appeal a
jar.
whole different crowd
Yeah, and
demographic.
They put a label on it. They put it in Whole Foods. Everyone just wants to eat.
Oh,
kimchi.
forget it. Yeah, but that's not even. I've had that. It's not that good.
It's
It's like a shorter process, and you kind of label it kimchi.
it's not the real deal.
I had a roommate when I was 19. I was telling Tracy he used to, or maybe you, he used to like make bombs, and he used to use like old HB bags to rub it on his ankles, and then he would eat kimchi in the room. Very small room, dorm like.
Yeah.
Dude, at 19, I was not appreciative of those kind of smells.
Yeah.
I was like, Choi, you're killing me. But whatever. Good old Choi. And he was in the Korean Army, man. That guy was hardcore.
Oh yeah.
He came to the U.S. Army. But anyway, so I don't imagine that you cooked growing up, Irvin. You ate. Tressie, I feel like you cooked with your mom, maybe?
You know, it was one of those things, and now I think about it, I'm like, oh, did the elders, like, since we grew up in America, like, did they never let us cook or didn't want to show us because, like, they felt like it was a way for us to, like, need them, you know?
Yeah.
Because in Korean culture and most Asian cultures, like, it's all about family. And,
Yeah.
like, you know, the eldest, son would be the one to, like, host the parties and take care of the elder, and, like, coming to America, like, you don't see that in most American families.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you leave the house,
Right.
and you never go back.
You may eat at the table together, or like yeah.
So.
Wait, but why? If they're not wanting you to help in the kitchen, that's opposite what you're telling me.
Well, so, like, growing up, it was always like, oh, just stay out of the kitchen. kitchen, and when the party starts, you just go eat. And so you always wondered how these things were made. But like my mom didn't show me how to make kimchi till I was an adult. So
That's interesting. I guess they just wanted you to stay out.
yeah.
But even in like Korea, it would be like that. Oh, I see.
Oh,
Well, when you
yeah,
say
you
being
have to-
one, I got you.
You know what I mean?
Like they were there just to nurture, and they didn't want you to work, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just weird growing up, but
So would you be able to teach me how to make kimchi?
It's really
Yes.
easy.
I figured.
oh man.
Isn't it just patience? Really?
Yeah, because you really can't eat it right away, but
Right. Do you have any buried in the backyard right now, or?
no, that's cool. I think in Texas it's too hot.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
But it's actually good to use like these.
When you what?
When you started, before you put it in the jar,
Yeah.
and you start packing it, and you just eat it fresh.
Yeah. I've seen
I
that.
like it that way than
Yeah.
Fermented. I feel like I've had it both ways, but I don't know.
but it's good, but I don't want it fermenting too long.
Yeah. Is it the because of like the funk of the
Yeah.
the
You
funk?
know, I think it's more like the spiciness inside.
Oh, it definitely intensifies, doesn't
I
it?
think it's intensified.
Well, if you